G'day, Keith Burns here from Packet Fabric with a short demo of how to connect your data center to AWS. But first, just who is Packet Fabric? Well, we're the marriage of modern API-first service delivery principles and carrier networking discipline. We have terabits of ubiquitous dedicated bandwidth. We believe in transparent pricing. You'll know immediately how affordable and easy to use high-performance dedicated connectivity can be. And our API-first approach means all services are provisioned in minutes. So what are we doing here today? Well, you've got applications in AWS and in your data center. And over time, you find you need them to communicate together. Now, you either haven't connected them, or you found using the internet is too slow and unreliable for your needs. And perhaps you aren't sure of your bandwidth needs for the problem. You don't want to invest in dedicated co-location just yet. You see a need in the future for a multi-cloud strategy that's governed from your data center, or maybe a prince in a far-off land offered you untold riches if you clicked a link and it led you here. I don't know, but I'm just glad you're here. So you've already investigated, say, a VPN solution. You found it doesn't meet your needs as primary connectivity. It's extra management you need to perform, or it just doesn't meet all the performance needs. Also, there's bad actors out there that may not try and access your data directly, but simply remove your ability to access it via DDoS against the DNS, etc. So what to do? Well, part of you wants to build something like this. I know times I do, but we all know why we don't do this anymore. It's just cost prohibitive. It doesn't scale. Instead, AWS offers Direct Connect, which is a way to bypass the internet and have a tailored AWS experience. It gives you access to all of their services via their backbone, not the public internet. Now, in order to achieve this, we're going to use Packet Fabric's cloud connectivity service to provide hosted connectivity. Okay, well, let's get started. These are the steps we'll be performing. I'm assuming you've already performed the account registration and port creation tutorial, but if not, it's linked in the description below. Let's go. All right, here we are at the Packet Fabric portal. So select cloud connectivity. We have two choices, dedicated or hosted. So dedicated we'll cover in a later tutorial. We'll cover a lot of the configuration to do with redundancy, etc., and some of the extra benefits we get from that. But to keep it simple, we'll choose hosted. In this example, Packet Fabric is going to provide the port. You don't have to worry about setting that up. We'll just give you a VLAN on a pre-existing one. So we're probably going to select this, keep it nice and simple to start with since we don't know the bandwidth needs. And yep, number of different cloud providers we can choose from. We're obviously going with AWS for this one. So first, let's look at the left-hand side of our network diagram. Which part of Amazon do we want to connect into? And this stuff pretty simple, 50 meg. Again, because it's a shared port where you've got a VLAN essentially, we can kind of rate up and down the bandwidth for you so you can just dip your toes, so to speak. That worked, brilliant. All right, so let's pick a port, and this is the one that your router's connected into on the Packet Fabric network. Since we've only got one, pretty straightforward, we'll just pick that one. Okay, so here you're going to want to enter, well, a really meaningful description, something witty, I'd imagine, like, I don't know, DC to VPC connection. That should work. All right, and let's enter our Amazon account ID. I'm obviously going to blank this out. Now you notice on the billing summary, NRC or the non-recurring portion 0. We've already paid for that for you. You just have to worry about the MRC. So that's a great way to get started. So with the power of some magical editing, we'll find that we'll be provisioned in next to no time. And let's go have a quick look. Okay, so let's view our cloud connectivity. Okay, so this is going to take us to a details page. We can find information about the port, all the statistics, even documents such as orders or LOAs for other interfaces. Here we are. We're going to go straight to Amazon though. So we've already created the interface, or it created it for us. Packet Fabric has. We need to accept the interface. Here we go, just confirm that. Next, we're going to need to create a virtual interface. We can have private, public, or transit. We're going private here, obviously. And we're going to pick a meaningful name. By the way, you can only have one private virtual interface or even just one virtual interface when we're using a hosted solution. But it's a little easy to get started. And we'll be covering direct gateways in a lot more detail in a later tutorial when we talk about dedicated bandwidth as well. So I've got my ASN. Here's some additional settings. You can leave these as default, but if you do need to fiddle with it, here's the place to do it. And so here's something really neat. Once we go in and then click on the virtual interface here, we can go up into actions and you'll see that there is a sample configuration. So this is going to be the bespoke configuration for this setup. So you can pick your vendor and you can also pick your hardware platform. and it will give you a downloaded config file. And then you can take bits and pieces of that and put it into your router as you see fit. And yeah, you should be up and running. Okay, well, thanks very much for your time today. Hopefully it was useful information for you. I would encourage you to please sign up for a demo or one of our webinars today from our website. And please subscribe to this channel. Feel free to leave any questions or requests for content in the comments. And the next installment in this series will be more of a hands-on tutorial where we'll be performing the same tasks but entirely from code, including the AWS portions. Anyway, thanks a lot. Stay tuned.